Welcome to the Fit 15 podcast show, where you'll find health and fitness inspiration, motivation, and information shared in 15-minute episodes. Tune in while getting a move on to make leading and enjoying the benefits of a healthy lifestyle almost too easy. It's the Fit 15. And now your host, Catherine Basu.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fit 15 today. I'm your host, Catherine Basu. Wanted to share for our new listeners or newer listeners who did not tune in from day one of the podcast that I finally got 50 episodes, the last 50 episodes of the show to be available wherever you listen to your podcasts. So while you can always go to fitarmadillo.com/podcast to find show notes going back however many episodes I end up releasing, if you prefer to do that from the app you use for your podcast, you can now do that for at least the last 50. I've been warned that if I do more than that, it will really slow down your download speed. So keep me posted on that. If it's already starting to be slower, let me know and I'll try to update things that way. But wanted it to be more convenient for those of you who are new to go back and listen to episode 000 and some of the great guests I had in the first few weeks of the show. So hope you enjoy that update. Today, I have an awesome guest who was just on the show yesterday. She is my private yoga instructor, Kayla, but we actually don't even live in the same country. So how does this work? How are we working together if we aren't close together and she's not coming over my house? She actually kind of comes over my house because we meet for our sessions over live to a video chat. So it's a very similar format as using Skype or FaceTime for our private yoga sessions, but we use a different platform that's actually a lot easier and you would be able to use yourself if you started enjoying private fitness sessions at Fit Armadillo, which is my company. So if you want to check out how this is working, if you're not so sure about it just yet, you can go to fitarmadillo.com. There's a video on the homepage where you can also go to book a session with Kayla or any of the other talented instructors. I just have to tell you though, I have been loving my sessions with Kayla because I don't have to get stressed out going to and from the yoga studio. I can actually take a break during my day, get an efficient yoga routine that I enjoy just for 30 minutes, but have seen a tremendous benefit for myself with my mindset and with my running. So highly recommend Kayla personally, as long as you don't go and book all my session times. All right, so today Kayla is coming back. Who is Kayla for those of you who did not meet her yesterday? Kayla Kurin is a certified yoga instructor, writer, and constant traveler. She helps people living with chronic illnesses find relief through yoga, and I had Kayla on previously to talk about yoga in general, and today we're going to chat more about yoga for chronic illnesses. So Kayla, first want to just welcome you to the podcast show, welcome you back to it.
Thank you.
And then wanted to ask, why do you have this focus of helping people with chronic illnesses find relief through yoga? How did that happen? That's a important topic for you and group of clients to work with.
It's important to me because I suffered with chronic illness myself for about 9 or 10 years. When I was very young, when I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. And I didn't really get any help from my doctors originally for many years. And I was sent around to all these specialists and tried all these different medications, and just nothing really did anything. And then I was very lucky to get referred to this holistic health clinic in Nova Scotia. And that's kind of where I started to do yoga and meditation. And they ran courses right there in the center, so I was kind of forced to go because people had kind of tried to tell me to go earlier, but I wasn't interested. I thought if the doctors can't help me, there's no way like this weird breathing thing is going to help me. So I was very much a skeptic.
Yep.
So anyways, I did the course, and I believe it was an 8-week course, but I probably did it over 12 weeks because I think the yoga and meditation started at different times. But over this 3-month period, I had also, with the help of the clinic, changed my diet at the time, and I was just amazed with the change in my health over those 3 months versus what it had been the 9 or so years previously, getting kind of more traditional treatment. And that kind of really changed my perspective on health and illness and how the bodily systems all work together and how our environment can affect us. And I just remember talking to a friend at the time about this, and he was like, yeah, it's so strange. Like, all these people I know went to all these concerts in high school, and now they all have hearing problems, and they're like confused about why they have hearing problems. And I think a lot of times in our society, we just have this like disconnect that things we do can actually affect us.
Sure.
So that kind of really, really converted me into yoga and meditation. And a few years down the line, I was graduated university, and I was thinking about what I wanted to do, and I thought, oh, I should teach yoga. And as I was going through my training, it just kind of clicked. It made perfect sense for me that I wanted to work with other people with chronic illnesses, because that's how I had gotten into yoga, and that's what had the most meaning for me. And also to work with people who might be, very stressed out or have trouble sleeping, things like that. I don't know if I can call it the medical side of yoga, but perhaps the more therapeutic side of yoga. It just has a lot more meaning for me. And also, I think I've told you this, that kind of after I finished that course at the clinic, I was living in Halifax at the time, and I was trying to find more yoga to do because it had helped me so much, and I was going to these studios, and the classes were just not for me. They were very based on fitness, and they were moving very quickly, and it just wasn't suitable for someone like me who was going into recovery from a chronic illness. And so I just kind of saw this need that there's this tool that can help so many people that they might not know about, but also might not be available to them.
Sure. No, that's awesome. So you have lots of ways now that people can, because you could teach people in person, and then obviously you do some sessions at Fit Armadillo, and you have your own website, but there's also something else exciting that is now available to people that's specific to the chronic illnesses and helping people find relief through yoga. So what's your exciting new adventure?
My exciting new venture is I published my first book.
Very exciting.
Very exciting. It came out just earlier this year, and it's available on Amazon. It's just called Yoga for Chronic Pain, 7 Steps to Aid Recovery from Fibromyalgia Through Yoga.
Awesome. Okay, so the focus is on fibromyalgia, but people suffering from other chronic illnesses might be able to benefit as well. Joining us for an out and back walk and only have 15 minutes, that is your cue to turn around.
Definitely. And I give just a bit of a general overview of pain and of the nervous system and how that all works. And I think that's applicable to most chronic illnesses.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely true. And so I guess, if people who don't have chronic illnesses, or, would they be able to benefit as well? Are you able to share like some of the general outline of the 7 steps that would help people?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so, because, I guess I can tell you all the steps, but I don't remember them off the top of my head.
I've been there with my book. Like, I think I know what I said in the book.
Yeah, I definitely know what I was
You have to reread it like so many times that somehow you block it out, right?
I know. Yeah, so the first step is understanding pain, and I just talk about the new research that's going on in the pain field and how it's not as simple as it was once believed. And I think that kind of applies to health for everyone, that it's not so simple as we once believed, and that there's a lot of different systems in your body and mind and environment that are all kind of working together to paint the picture of health that you have now. And I think by being aware of that, so it's especially important for people who are ill, but even for people who are healthy now, if you're thinking about healthy aging and staying healthy, especially if you have other fitness goals or other career goals or family goals that you're trying to achieve, learning about these ways that all the systems kind of interact together to make up your health, I think can be very helpful. And then, I have a couple yoga sequences in the book, a morning routine and a nighttime routine, and a few tips from Ayurvedic wisdom and a few tips from kind of pain research. So I think it can be helpful for anybody who's looking to get a good idea of holistic health.
Sure. I know too, we've talked in the past about just the connection between stress and illness and how yoga can help. Anything, for people that, like I said, maybe they aren't experiencing a chronic illness right now, thankfully, right? They're lucky, right? But how, even the connection between stress and illnesses and trying to decrease that to prevent having any issues down the line, like how can yoga help with that?
Yeah, definitely. So I talk about stress a lot. And part of the reason that is because unfortunately some of the chronic illnesses that I work with, like fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome, are not very well understood. And there's a lot of people, even in the medical community, who will accuse patients of saying, oh, like, you're just making it up, oh, you just need to go outside, and are very dismissive. And so sometimes it can be really hard for these people to hear it's just in your head, because that's what they're all hearing. And when I first kind of started talking about stress, some people got defensive, and they just kind of heard this stuff trickling down, that they had always been told that your illness is not real and you're not really feeling what you're feeling. So I made a point to do a lot of research into this. And I also studied psychology in university and learned a lot about there. So it felt a little intuitive to me, but it's not intuitive to everybody. And stress really does play a role in everything, even when you get cold. So I remember the example at university we learned is that after midterms, everybody gets a cold.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. And it's the reason they think is because everyone gets stressed out by midterms, and you kind of get your adrenaline pumping and your nervous system gets you through the exam. And then as soon as you can relax, you get sick because your immune system has been compromised from the stress.
Yeah.
So even something like a cold is influenced by stress, and they've found links from stress to pretty much every illness, including things as serious as cancer. So it's definitely not to say that, you just need to calm down and everything's going to be fine. It's a complicated system that is not always in our conscious.
Mm-hmm.
And there are good types of stress as well that can still be tough on your system. So I think they say the most stressful events in life are getting married, buying a house, but they're meant to be good things.
Yep.
But they're still very stressful on your system, even though they may making you feel very happy and excited, which is not what we associate with stress. Sorry, I'm rambling now.
No, it's very, and you think that it should be a happy thing, but obviously there's a lot of changes happening, and so that's how that can all happen. No, definitely that's
yeah. So I think that everyone experiences stress, and it can contribute to illness. So if you know you're a person, and you can start by noticing things that go on in your body, like when change is happening, do you notice your heart start racing? Do you feel kind of giddy and jittery? If you're kind of feeling that those stresses in your body, even if they're positive, more often than not, then stress management is something that you probably want to think of. And I think everybody experiences that. I think we all could do better at managing our stress. So I think starting a practice like yoga and meditation, or any mindful practice. I mean, I don't practice Tai Chi or Qigong or anything like that, but I know some people find that helpful. And I think even, taking a shower or washing the dishes, you can do anything in a mindful way, because I know that yoga is not for everyone, but I do think it is a very powerful tool to help reduce that stress and bring you back to homeostasis, which is basically your normal levels quicker.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, I think it's really important. And actually, I had someone on who was talking about introducing children to yoga, and I just think, for so many of us, if we had the tools that yoga gives us to manage stressful situations versus the other tools we often turn to, as adults, that it can be a really good benefit for life. So no, I definitely believe in yoga helping with stress and many other things.
Mm-hmm.
So would you find, I don't know, it's probably tough to really put timelines or anything like that on trying to make yoga so much more scientific than it should be. But since you experience yourself, and maybe from some of your clients, someone is experiencing chronic illness now, and maybe they feel like how you felt when you first heard about yoga being able to help you. Do you find that there's, they're able to think about committing for even a small amount of time, that they might be able to wrap their head around that and actually be able to start? Do you have any insights into that, how that can help? And no.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it varies a lot from person to person, and also the results vary a lot
Hmm.
from person to person. But I would say if you can give it at least 2 months of a regular practice, which I would say would be at least twice a week,
Hmm.
that will give you an idea of what yoga can do. So, I mean, I'm not saying that it's if you have a chronic illness that you're going to be cured in 2 months, but
Right.
that will kind of give you an idea of how you feel after yoga and how you feel the day after yoga and later that day, and if it is helping you and providing you benefit.
Hmm. And do you feel like, once you get into that routine and you feel like it's having a big benefit, would you change the type of yoga you do or how often you do to help maintain that benefit for longer? Or I don't know.
Yeah, so the more often you can do it, the more benefit you get. And this doesn't necessarily mean you need to do it for a long time every time,
Mm-hmm.
even if you're practicing for 10 minutes a day. But yeah, I think if you can practice more, especially if you have a chronic illness. I remember when I was first still in doing this course, our homework was to meditate for 45 minutes every day,
Oh,
which is
wow.
quite intimidating.
Yep, yep.
And I'm sure, I can't remember, but I'm sure I did not do it every day. But just kind of having that goal of doing it every day, and even at least a bit, like if I don't have the 45 minutes, I'm going to do it for 10 minutes, and at least I did it today, um, was very helpful in just getting into that regular practice. And then as you start to get more into the practice and see how it can fit into your life and the benefits that it gives you, and you'll be able to make a more personalized plan for what makes sense for you.
Sure. No, that's good. So they don't have to think that they are going to have to do it for like years necessarily to start
Hmm.
seeing a benefit.
Exactly, yeah.
So giving it a try.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, Kayla, to share some insights on the connection between, yoga being able to provide some relief for those with chronic illness and sharing your story with us. And I know you have a lot more to share. So how can the audience connect with you, especially those who are struggling with the chronic illness, just to get more information?
Yeah, so my website is arogayoga.com, and I have an online course there that you can do from anywhere in the world. One is for all chronic illnesses, it's a more comprehensive 6-week course, and then one is a shorter one for chronic pain that's just 10 days long, and it's more for people who've already done a little bit of yoga but are ready to build a daily practice.
Okay, so it sounds like with what we were just talking about, those two could go really well together, like trying to do the 6 weeks to start seeing a benefit maybe and then finding a way to fit it into a busy schedule as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely, yeah. And my book is available on Amazon if you're kind of interested in more of the theories behind those courses.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. That's really exciting.
Hmm.
Well, thanks for coming back for another episode and for sharing your insights.
Yeah, thanks for having me again.
Thanks for listening to the Fit 15. For show notes and more, visit fitarmadillo.com/podcast. See you next time.
Hi, friends. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you know someone who is suffering from a chronic illness and hasn't tried yoga yet, I hope you'll share the episode to give them a insight from someone who's experienced the same thing herself and wasn't so sure about yoga but has found it to have a huge benefit. Maybe help out a friend. I also wanted to share that we have our Drop 2 Sizes challenge coming up over at Fit Armadillo. So if you haven't signed up for the wait list just yet, you can go to fitarmadillo.com. There's a link in the top left corner, or you can go to fitarmadillo.com/D2S, D as in drop 2, the number 2, and S as in sizes, because I usually try to treat my participants to at least one yoga session as a group to celebrate their progress. The program is one that lasts 10 weeks, and for those of you who are looking to drop 2 sizes, I do guarantee that result if you stick to the program and stick to your workouts. But it's really meant for anyone looking to make a healthy lifestyle change and do so in a way that's kind to your body. So, very in line with yoga practice and what we try to do with yoga, making sure we are showing our body respect versus trying to punish it, which unfortunately is what happens through many other programs. So check it out, fitarmadillo.com/D2S. Get on the wait list so you can get in on the early bird special, which will end in the next few days, and the program will start Monday, April 16th this year, 2018. Hope to get to cheer you on through that program. And if you subscribe to the podcast, I won't chat with you tomorrow or Sunday, but I will be back with a new episode on Monday, so don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Bye.